Yo ho ho, Dom Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the Dom Mafia Report, and it is that time of year again. All right, this is where I'm dropping my way too damn early record prediction for the Buffalo Bills. I know exactly what you're thinking. Dan, how the fuck could you even begin to anticipate what the Bills are going to finish in 2021? Free agency hasn't started. The draft hasn't started. Well, besides the fact that I frankly ran out of other ideas, I think that we know enough about this team and what the Buffalo Bills plan on doing during the offseason, and a little bit of knowledge on what I think our opponents are planning on doing in the offseason to at least give like a pretty solid estimated guess. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I do want to say that I got pretty damn close to my record prediction last year for this 2020 season. I know, I'm just a cocky bastard. But I mean, this is going to be the video. As you can see, the Buffalo Bills 2021 opponents have been live for quite some time, and now that I figure that it is officially the offseason of the NFL, we might as well have a little bit of fun, baby. Who doesn't love good old-fashioned fun? And so yeah, Dom Mafia, right before we dive into this video, I do need to call you fools out, okay? Very, very disappointed, okay? For so long, we were doing so damn good with smashing the out of that like button, and then all of a sudden, it completely went away. There's one of two reasons for that. Number one, you forgot, or number two, my content is going to shit, okay? It's probably the latter, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Our goal for this video today, I know, I'm shooting for the damn stars, 3,000 likes. Smash that like button and be the member of the Dom Mafia that I know who you all are. So yeah, Dom Mafia. Obviously, like I said, I really don't have enough to really give you a straight dead look in the eye. This is what the Buffalo Bills record is going to be in 2021. We don't know what we're doing in free agency or the draft, and we don't know what our opponents are doing. But like I said, for shits and giggles, we're going to go through here, and I'm going to try and give you my most non-biased where I see the Buffalo Bills going. So we'll start off with our home opponents, then our away opponents, and then I'll go on ahead and I'll discuss our divisional matchups moving forward. So starting off, the Atlanta Falcons. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling next year that this team is about to be the bottom dweller in the NFC South. I mean, especially when they ended up releasing their head coach. It's essentially chaos over there. No one knows what's going to happen to Matt Ryan. I think Todd Gurley is going to be gone. Not that he really even ended up doing anything for that team this year. There's so many questions about the Atlanta Falcons. On paper, right now, the Buffalo Bills are a better team. And that's even including some of the pending free agents that we currently have that are likely not going to make a return. And there's frankly nothing the Atlanta Falcons could do during this offseason that could even make it somewhat competitive. And so with that reason alone, I have that being a big fat dub. Number two is the Carolina Panthers, right? And this is going to be a very interesting matchup in my eyes because number one, we have no idea what they're doing in the quarterback position. They are in the lead for acquiring Deshaun Watson. It might be a bit of a change. But I mean, realistically, when you look at their team, they're probably only a couple of pieces away from actually being not necessarily contenders for the Super Bowl, but definitely a favorite to win the NFC South. And yes, even over the Super Bowl champions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, you have DJ Moore, who's an absolute stud. You have Christian McCaffrey. I mean, you throw a quarterback that's even somewhat competent in there, he's going to be able to really take advantage of that offense. So I like the Carolina Panthers. I do. I lived in Charlotte for a couple of years, so there's a little special place in my heart. But at the end of the day, I still see the Buffalo Bills coming out on top of this. Number one, because it is going to be home. It is going to be in Bills Stadium or whatever we decide to name our stadium. I do see the Bills winning this game, but believe it or not, I think that this might be a sleeper game that's going to be a lot closer than a lot of us have initially anticipated. The Houston Texans, maybe a little bit of revenge from that 2019 playoff game. We ended up sort of dealing with them. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, if there is any organization on the face of the planet that is currently a clusterfuck right now, it is the Houston Texans. I mean, they just ended up releasing J.J. Watt per his request. Deshaun Watson wants nothing to do with them. They have an entire new damn front office, an entire new coaching staff. This team is going to be in shambles for the next couple of years, and they are fully in rebuild mode at this point. I think that this should just be a layup. You know what I mean? 3-0, Buffalo Bills. So, all right, next home game, the Indianapolis Colts. Now, they did play us very, very good. Very well during that first playoff game. I'm not going to lie to you. I ended up getting a lot of shit from Colts fans after we did win, because we by no means murdered them whatsoever. They're a very good team. Their defense is absolutely stacked. I'm pretty sure they're sitting pretty good as far as current contracts are concerned. So their defense is going to be coming back. One huge question, though. Phillip Rivers is gone. He retired. So who is going to be under center for them at this point? Right? I mean, there's a lot of rumors that Carson Wentz has been linked to this team. Even if he does go over there, I do still see the Bills being the better team moving forward, even though their defense is pretty damn lit, and we might be missing a piece or two on the offensive side of the ball next year. I still see the Buffalo Bills coming out on top. 4-0, baby. Next home game, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all understand that the Pittsburgh Steelers probably had the most disappointing ending to a football season in their entire franchise history, known to man, right? Starting off with 11-0 and then completely tanking, not being able to run the ball, not being able to close out games, beat teams that they should have beaten. James Conner's probably going to be a free agent, so they need to roll right back to the drawing board for a running back. I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of their biggest needs that they're looking for during this offseason. I could see them improving on that aspect. Ben Roethlisberger, and no one knows what else he's going to do. I've heard some things through the grapevine that he was considering coming back for one last year. And if not, then they're just going to be a part of that QB carousel at that point. I know that Juju's a free agent. I know that there's a couple of guys on their defense that's going to be a free agent as well. I see Pittsburgh taking a step back next year, especially once they make that transition. And who's going to be the guy? Is Big Ben coming back, or are they going to maybe bring in another free agent and Big Ben decides to retire? Who knows? Regardless of what happens, I just see the Steelers being an entire different team next year, and not in a good way. So I have the Buffalo Bills winning this game as well, 5-0. So far, we're looking pretty damn good at home, but now we got to switch over to the away games before I make the transition over to our divisional opponents. Number one, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Listen, I'm very excited to watch Trevor Lawrence play. I'm very excited to watch Urban Meyer become a coach in the NFL. I'm really interested to see what they can do as a duo moving forward. But this is the first year of their damn rebuild, first year of their coaching staff. And Sean McDermott is amazing at confusing rookie quarterbacks. As good as Trevor Lawrence is, I think the Buffalo Bills win this handedly. The New Orleans Saints. Now, this is interesting to me because no one really knows what the hell Drew Brees is doing, right? I mean, one day it looked like he was about to retire, and then now they're talking about that he's going to come back for 1 year on this one restructured deal. I'm assuming he's going to come back. I know that a lot of quarterbacks in the past, they've said they are retiring. They said they might come back on a restructured deal. Then they decide to retire anyway. Who knows what the hell is going on, but that team still has Alvin Kamara, they have Michael Thomas. Their defense was largely slept on. It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. Unfortunately, I do have the Buffalo Bills losing to the New Orleans Saints during that game. I mean, the Saints are just always on fire during the regular season. They choke in the playoffs, sure. And so I do have this being a loss. Next up, the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, it pained a lot of Bills fans watching Tom Brady hoist his 7th Lombardi in the air. I mean, this is a very good team, right? I mean, they really are. There's definitely a lot of questions of who's going to be able to come back. I mean, there's been a couple of players. Was it Mike Evans or Chris Godwin who said that he was even willing to take a pay cut so he could afford to bring more people back? I'm not sure whether or not that the Buccaneers are going to be able to bring back their entire team. I mean, obviously they're not going to be able to, but will they be able to bring back enough of a team that could mimic the season that they put up in 2020? And so it's really just ended on them making a tremendous late half of the season all the way into the Super Bowl type run by itself. Damn, I think y'all might hate me for this. I really do, but I see us losing this game as well. I see us losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And yeah. My bad, y'all. Next up, the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, that's right. Listen, they had our number last year, okay? Maybe it had to do with the fact that they had that unsolicited practice, or maybe it had to do with the fact that they all ended up having COVID or some shit, and the game ended up getting rescheduled to a damn Tuesday night football, and we just came out there completely flat. The weather, you can blame it on whatever the hell you want, but I mean, I think the Tennessee Titans were eventually exposed. I mean, if you can legitimately shut down Derrick Henry, Tannehill is not the same quarterback at all. I know what he did to us during that regular season game when we were in Nash. Definitely nervous about this game, but I do see the Buffalo Bills taking revenge and just absolutely opening a can of whoop ass on these fools in Nashville. I swear to God, it seems like we've played the Titans and the Steelers 3 years in a row, and with the Titans, we've played in Nashville 3 years in a row. So, I mean, I guess that's just how the schedule always turns out, but if you haven't been there, that is a very fun place to go watch a football game. So hopefully if the world is somewhat back to normal next year, I recommend going down to Tennessee to watch that game. The Kansas City Chiefs. Sweet, sweet revenge. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to dive into huge analysis right here. I legitimately see the Buffalo Bills going in to Arrowhead and beating the ever-living fuck out of them. I really, really do. I think that Josh Allen really has a bad taste in his mouth, and so as long as the rest of the offense moving forward defensively as well, I mean, honestly, they were in cap hell last year, and somehow they were still able to pull out like $50-60 million out of their asses. We have no idea how that happened, but very interested to see what they do during the offseason, but I do see the Buffalo Bills taking revenge on Kansas City in Arrowhead and ultimately end up winning that game. So next up, we're going to the divisional round, baby. We're going to the divisional round. Starting off with the Dolphins. I mean, let's just go on ahead and nip this in the butt. I know people are going to be upset about this, but I see us splitting with the Dolphins next year. I do. I finally see the Dolphins actually pulling off a victory against the Buffalo Bills. I would assume that it would be, damn, I mean, it's really hard to bet against Josh Allen in Miami. I mean, for God's sakes, they should probably just name it Josh Allen Stadium with the amount of pain that he's brought this organization his entire career. But damn, I mean, I see us losing one of them. I'm going to say the home game. The Dolphins have a lot of draft picks. The Dolphins have a lot of cap space, in my opinion. I think that they're the favorite for Aaron Jones. They're going to be able to get a solid run game, which they didn't have last year. They're bound to at least take one. So let's say that we split with the Dolphins. And so next up is the New England Patriots. I still think that Belichick's going to be struggling, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I think that he is just in a very bad personnel situation. I'm very curious to see if some of the defensive guys that opted out in 2020 are going to come back. And even if they do, are they going to be able to get back into the shape that they were in 2019? I mean, a year off of football is a long time, especially since they're going to be a year older. So, I mean, we'll see what's going on at this point. They have no idea what they're doing at quarterback. I thought their best option would have been Stafford, but then the Patriots were idiots and they ended up bringing Patricia back. So, goodbye Stafford at that point. I mean, it really just depends on who their quarterback is. If it's Stidham or if it's Cam Newton again, then yeah, I mean, I see us sweeping the Pats again. And then finally, the New York Jets. And so I don't think that there's a lot of analysis needed for this, but I mean, yeah. The Buffalo Bills are going to sweep the Jets as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has us at, once again, 13-3. Very, very interesting. Now, I do know a lot of people were talking about, hey, there might be an extra game next year. And that's exactly what that agreement outlined last offseason. But I mean, really just by looking at the opponents, I'm not seeing an extra team here, whether or not that it's an extra home or away game. It could be subject to change, who knows? But right now, I have the Buffalo Bills going 13-3. Sound off in the comments. What do you think? And then also, side question as well. Which game would you love to go to? I would actually be very curious about that because I'm trying to figure out like what home game or one away game I would love to go to. I'm thinking right now, I would love to go to the Jags game. I would love to go down to Jacksonville for the away. And I would love the Panthers game because my homie's a giant Panthers fan, and I would love just to get him completely trashed with Bills Mafia and then proceed to talk shit to him after we kick their asses. But yeah, Del Mafia, thank you again for tuning in. I always appreciate that. Remember, smash that fucking like button, okay? And before I let you go, always remember, let's go Buffalo.